What up, what up, what up, guys? How you guys doing? I'm going to be talking about how to support on Herc and how to carry games. It's your boy, El Leon. And this is one of my first times doing this, talking over some content. I'm definitely going to be upgrading my content to this type of caliber, where I'm going to be talking through clips and explaining my thought process and what I'm doing and what you should be doing with builds and gameplay. So for today, we'll be talking about Herc support and why it's banned against the best supports in SPL, PBM, Aurora, and why they don't allow them to have it. Even though you know what Herc is going to do. You know Herc's going to be aggressive. You know Herc's going to be in your face, but you just kind of can't counterplay it because it's just so strong. So here I'm coming in the engage. Don't pop the 3 yet. Pop the health pot. Missed the 2. Just going for the wave. Just looking to farm. But his fishing aspect, even though you know it's coming, it's hard to avoid sometimes, right? The difference between a good Herc and an average Herc is knowing how to use their movement and your movement speed against them. You know, making sure you can hit those 2s at all times, even if they're trying to juke it, or make sure you can position yourself with a 1, making sure you know how to blink 180 blink, knowing when to use your Herc ult for CC immunity. I think it's one of the biggest aspects of Herc, because he doesn't have any CC immunity, and that is even though you're standing still for a bit, but knowing how to stop CC or getting comboed with CC, like with Scylla. This game, it could easily happen if you think about it, right? Look at their comp. They got Scylla, they got Susano, Ganesh. So if you start the combo, even Hercules and Freya, imagine you get whooped. Let's just say like a scenario. Freya whoops you. When you drop, Scylla roots you. Then Ganesh silences you, then grabs you, then Susan, like, you're dead. Like, if you're still alive by then, you're dead after 100% on the chase. So that's why Herc ult is really important to save for those. A lot of times people use it for damage, and while that is fine in certain situations, the best Herc players really use it for the CC immunity. So here I'm coming around mid, trying to get a good angle. I do see the 1v3, push the Ganesh in, as he was the best target, look to finish him. Gonna probably pop that health pot, look to ult to get the kill. And we do get the counter kill. And I'm still chilling. Also, something that I wanted to pretty much remind you guys is you max the 3. I see a lot of people max the 2 in the support. Yeah, it's okay for damage. But in reality, the mitigate wounds is so strong. Especially if you time it properly. And obviously if they don't have counter healing. But most people are building counter healing nowadays. So it's just about timing when you're going to take damage and not just going in before the fight. Sometimes when you guys have shield or regrowth, you can 3 in before, right? So you get the movement speed. But most of the time, it's when you're about to take damage. Here I come, hit the 2, get the 1, get the beads, mitigate wounds. Because I was about, you see right there was a great example of when to mitigate wounds. I didn't 3 all the way till the end because I was about to dive the tower if the Cupid Heart Bomb didn't finish him. So that's why I pit my 3 because I was ready to dive. So here as I'm coming in to try to defend the Osiris, waiting to see if he commits. Doesn't commit. But just like I said, the timing of the 3 is so important. And you're going to see me, I'm pretty sure I die here. And off this red invade because I commit my 1 to try to steal it. And here I think I mistimed my mitigate wounds. Oh no, I had a good time in the mitigate wounds, but just the CC chain from Scylla. Scylla is definitely such a good character. Even did you see the heal that I got there? Even a level 1 mitigate wounds, just because I timed it properly, it almost helped me get out. But the Scylla damage, the Susano damage was too strong. Also, they use Ganesh ult, kind of hard to get in and out of that. And Scylla obviously brings a ton of damage, or even at all times. So something else that I wanted to point out is what boots should you be getting on Hercules? You could get guard boots, you could get warrior to buy, you could get travelers. I think if you're consistent enough with your 2-1, you should be getting travelers almost every time, guard boots being an exception. Travelers gives you positioning to make sure you can be fishing at all points in the game and even better in the early game. You're faster than everyone. That was a nice juke by Ganesh. By the way, that's the way you juke Herc too. You cut back in. But yeah, pretty much Travelers is the best boots if you're able to land your 2-1 consistently. I think there is some situations where you could be getting guard boots because they do have a lot of tick damage or they do have a lot of lockdown. That could be CCR'd. But here, just trying to get positioning. I do whiff my one, but yeah, you see how I use the Travelers to get positioning. That ult actually worked out. I actually wanted to throw it at Freya there, but it didn't work out. And here I just turn on the juke boots with Travelers, juke the Scylla ult, juke the dash, and we survive. Mitigate wounds a little bit late there, but you know, just you get better and better at timing it. Something else that is another quick tip on Herc. Here I pop the 2. Cupid ult helps me with that. Easy kills, easy kills. Another quick tip is health pots. Health pots in the early game are insane, especially on Herc. You want to make sure you're popping the health pot, popping your mitigate wounds, and you're running at them. And you feel actually unkillable in the first, I would say, from 8 to like 15 minutes with the extra health pot plus mitigate wounds. And now we're going to go over a little bit of relic choice on what you should be going on Herc. I think Herc Blink early is just the best relic. Is there times that there's other relics that are better? Shell, not really Girdle, maybe Slow. Honestly, Hyres has changed the active names on me so much that don't blame me if I don't remember the names. The one that slows you, Kappa. You guys better drop some comments on it and call me out for not knowing it. Keepo. Here's another one where Blink just comes in. Don't use my abilities yet because I know I have the positioning on him. Hit the 2. Still have the positioning. Now you're going to see me punch, and I don't mind that. You know why? Because I can get ahead of him because of Travelers and try to body block. Obviously, he beats, and we take those beads. We take those beads and we disengage. Beads is a big win with Herc. You always take those. Don't feel like you need to overcommit for the kill. When you grab the beads on Herc, you know that's your main target. You got a free target for the next fight to bring out and start the fight off with a 4v5 usually. And I want to talk a little bit about builds here as we're just going to recap on the Travelers, where to buy guard. I love Thebes, really, like probably first item most of the time. I would say like maybe 70 or 80% of the time I love Thebes early. It actually gives you the prots, the HP 5 that you need to just kind of be unkillable in the early game. Obviously, you kind of have to like chill for a little bit, right? I think when you get Traveler shoes, it carries you for a bit. It carries you for a bit in the aspect of how often you can be ganking and moving around the map. But I think once you get Thieves, there's a certain part in the game where you got to kind of chill and just stack up a little bit. Kind of run around lanes, farm up. You don't have to be running at them at red buff. I think you just slow down, farm up a little bit. And once you got them 50 stacks, then you go right back to just running at them. Warriors and supports are the best to be doing these combos on. As you can see, they usually never have beads. And on top of that, they still can be blown up if you push them far back enough. And on top of that, you're probably going to get their ults even if you don't kill them. You're going to get something that's worth the 2-1, even on the tanks. But, yeah, so Gauntlet of Thieves, you got to kind of chill for a bit. But then once you get stacked, you're just running at the red buffs, running at the purple buffs, making space. What is making space? Making space is pretty much getting 2 to 3 people to feel uncomfortable on their side of the map as they farm, slow them down at the cost of your own farm. And with Herc, this is amazing to do. This is, even though you can see me here, I'm level 14. I'm 3 levels ahead of their Ganesh because I've been, you know, obviously a part of 13 out of 15 kills. So, you know, obviously getting compensated for the work that I've been putting on the map. But most of the time, even being behind on Herc doesn't feel too bad. Because if you're being behind, but you're able to put your team really, really, really ahead, it's definitely worth it. And here you see me go Relic Dagger, Shield of Regrowth. Now, how do these items make you feel? Well, these items are pretty much full utility. I'm going to run at you, and I'm going to make as much space as I can type of build. You're not that tanky. While you do have some good raw HP, some good base HP from these items, you know, Shield of Regrowth, Relic Dagger, Thieves, all have great HP. As you see me sitting at 2,800 HP at 17 minutes. They don't give you that much prots or any prots at all. You're actually relying on your Thieves to just carry you. And that's why I think Thieves is so important on Herc support. Thieves definitely, you know, carries that amount of time where you're sitting with no prots. And you're grabbing 2 raw HP items and 2 utility items. But there's different builds that you can go, right? If you're feeling like you're not this ahead, right? I'm 5-1 and 10. So I can kind of go for this build and not feel bad. I'm not going to get killed. But You can go the Spirit Rope. You can go the Oni's Guard, which is going to actually make you really, really, really tanky to anyone. You can stay in their backline. You see it here, I'm kind of moving back and forth. I'm trying to juke left and right. I'm not just full committing, autoing someone. I'm making sure to, you know, take advantage of the movement speed that I invested in and make them miss abilities and continue to put myself in good position to fish them out every time my CDs are back up. Something that's really good about this build, though, is the CD that you're getting. You're getting 20% from Relic Dagger and Shield of Regrowth together, and that's going to help you fish just like I fished this Ganesh all day. And then I'm going to 3 to reposition here. I tried to juke the Freya whoop there, but unfortunately it wasn't quick enough. And here you go. Look how fast I catch up to her. Get positioning. Don't let her come in. Hit one her out, but obviously I have no backup. At this point, I'm just having a good time with old Hercules. And just keep running around, you know, just make movement. Here, obviously, they start commit to me, so I just start to put on the moves, look for another fish. Obviously, I missed there. Looking for a punch to put them out. One thing that you have to be scared against this comp here with the Herc is making sure you do not get Scylla rooted. Why Scylla root? It doesn't get DR. What is DR? We're going to slow down. Hey, guys. Make sure you guys click that link. Supporting my YouTube dream. If you want to continue to do so, every video you can click my 2 sponsored links in the description. Just open the links and close them. Thanks for the love. I'm back. So like I was saying, pretty much we've moved on into this game, and we were talking about build and what Relic Dagger and what Shield of Regrowth really puts out in terms of item builds. It does give you the quality HP movement speed and CD, which I would put in the utility realm. But then I just move into Pridwin, which caps me out at that 40% CD, which feels amazing with Herc. You always have your 3-up. You can fish at any point in the game, and you can constantly juke in and out. So that is the reasoning for the build here. And Pridwin is so good because when is the only time they can kill you with Herc? Well, when you're ulting, because you're standing still and you're easy to get blown up. But if you get a shield when you're ulting, feels good, man. It helps when you're just standing still. Even though you do have the CC immunity and you can get comboed, the shield helps out a ton. And you can definitely follow people because you have the movement speed from Shield of Regrowth, Travelers, and Relic Dagger to follow people and blow the shield up on them, which slows them, which sets you up for another free fish. And I did go down. I'm so bad with item names, guys. Can we report me? I call it item that gives you movement speed and stacks when you clear wave. Either way, it does. I think I was talking about this in this game. One thing that you want to keep note of when you're building this build is that your MP5 is solely on Travelers. And Travelers, once you replace Travelers for the 6th item, you definitely feel it. You feel the lack of MP5 and you lose some movement speed because movement speed pot doesn't give you the same 22% that Travelers does. So that's something to take note of. So if you're going to replace Travelers, you got to make sure you replace it with something that's going to give you a good MP5 or just in general give you mana. Because you're going to need it when you're running around fire, running around these long fights, and making sure that you can continue the pace of the fight and making sure you can continuously fish people out. Because if you have 40% CD, you don't know how fast you can burn through that mana. Popping your 3, 2, 1, boom. That's what? 60, 80, 80, 160, 240? 220, sorry. 220 mana, and you have 845. You can do that 4 times. And when you got 40% CD, that can happen in 30 seconds. So, and you know, a lot of these fights are a lot longer, especially when you're building like this. They're way longer than 30 seconds because you're trying to run around and zone the backline. You can't one-shot the backline, so pushing them out is usually your job. And so, yeah, make sure that you get an MP5 item once you replace Travelers. Another point that I want to bring up here is when do you blink? When to blink? When to blink 1, when to blink 2, and when to blink 3. Because there is times that you should be blinking and then just mitigate wounds. So when you blink 1 is when you want to catch them off guard. You don't feel like they'll bead fast enough because they don't know you're there because of, you know, great warding or whatnot. And so you blink immediately 1 and try to get them without having their beads with their pants down. When you blink 2 is when you're trying to fish them out. You know, you make it look like you're looking at someone else and you blink and then you 2 to the left, you know, give it a quick flick. Here we're running them down. Good punch because I already knew Freya was there. We're kind of chasing this down. Try to get the 2 off. Try to do it over the wall, but Susanoo's movement speed was great there. And we're running them down. Trying to run them down at least, but we turn around and try to pick up this kill on the left side. Whatever, going back to my point. And then there is a bunch of times where you can blink 3. Now, why would you just blink 3? Well, if you have a ton of movement speed, correct? So you don't want to blink and then use your abilities right away and then you're in a bad spot. You want to blink 3, feel them out. You have the movement speed. Let them use their abilities. Oh, yeah, guys. Hope I helped out with the Herc knowledge and the next support games you're going to be putting out with Herc. How to play aggressive and how to really work with him. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys.